us today. As above, so below, we're talking about Saturn energy, Saturnian energy. Thank you to each and every one of you guys for welcoming me into your life. If this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration to each and every one of you guys. What's up, my baby Scorpio? I want to say also salutation to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajay. What's up, my Boaz in the house? What's up, my Demetrius, Gemini, and Pisces? To each and every one of you guys, I want to say too much and not enough thanks for my retirement at my job, and it was quite emotional, just thinking I put 30 years in this company, and they put 30 years in me too. It was reciprocation. What's up, my Ryan in the house? Libra Cardinal Air in the house. What's up, Mother Susan? My Gemini, the mother of this mother church. Thank you for all of y'all. Now, those that do not know, on this channel is for melanated people. These are the people that want to know how to utilize real energy, frequency, and vibration. And one of the things that I've been manifesting is to get myself to a place. What's up, my Shamari, my Cancer from Chi-Town? How you doing, babes? To each and every one of you guys, I've been really one of the things I've been manifesting is a opportunity for us to grow, develop, and mature and evolve when it comes down to spirituality. And so I've been doing a lot of teachings, and all to those that did not get the beginners class and conjure in the beginning class, when it came to psychic, the second class, I'm only gonna share so much information on social media, and yes, I share a lot of information, but I make sure I do not connect dots. The people in my classes, they are able to connect the dots about things that I teach. Because at the end of the day, I'm a master, and a master never tells everything. Cancer from North Carolina. All right, there, Cancer. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to be sharing some information. So not only if you're going to do your own personal conjure, or you're going to go to a conjurer, I need you to understand universal laws. Now, the reason why I don't teach my personal practice or give my opinions on that is because everybody's an individual. We're in the age of Aquarius, and what meets one person need may not meet another one. When it comes to universal law, it applies and applicable to each and every individual. Everybody is affected, whether atheist, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. It still applies. What's up there, Bobby? What up, Mr. Bobby? Oh no, Monique is in here. I said, Mr. Bobby ain't no Cancer. My crab case is in here, up on her husband's name, trying to be sneaky. Anyway, he a Libra, she a Cancer. I knew that was crab case. But thank you for being here on this Saturday. Now, one of the things that I always say to people, I've not lived my life outside of magic. And the reason why I always iterate that is because a lot of times when you're receiving information, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you have to consider the source. And sometimes if you have come into your magic later in life, some things you may not be able to relate to what I'm talking about. But I have always lived a magical life. I live a charmed life. So I just want to be honest with people. I don't know no other life outside of magic. I'm 52 years of age. Now, I want to talk about something. Oh, hold on. I want to say hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. And once again, thank you to everybody that congratulated me on my retirement from UPS, 30 years there. And like I said, it was a major accomplishment because I came up in a family that had money and property and stuff like that, and it was a personal accomplishment of mine outside of the branch of my family. Because in my family, can't nobody get a car or a piece of bubble gum unless you get it off the property. But God blessed me to pave another way and allow me to be a blessing and successful as a entrepreneur and also a employee of United Parcel Service. And I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment. Now y'all make a decision. My tribe, everybody watching that you're part of my tribe of my saints. Y'all make a decision whether this teaching gonna be one. You want me to keep it 100 or 1,000? I'm gonna let y'all regulate the temperature. Who want to hear me keep it 100? Or you want to go ahead and 900 notches to 1,000? We're gonna see how many people want. The tribe is. I'm seeing some thousands. I'm seeing people skin. Demetrius said a million. Shamara says set up. Okay. Okay, we have a unanimous consent. So this is Saturday, Sagittarian energy. So my tribe kind of got a better idea of how I get down when it comes to spirituality, and we're not on TikTok, so I don't have to be filtered. So I want to talk about something that that may offend people. I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is an Aries. My rising Pisces. I've been doing magical working. I'm just gonna say it like this. Some people doing magic. I have been manifesting. I have been manifesting since I was a child. The conjure that I was a part of, we had to manifest that, or somebody was going to go to jail. Somebody was going to lose. So I had to get into a place where we were doing prayers and workings that were actually benefiting or causing things to move in the favor of the said individual. So I never lived this life participating in the black arts, the ATRs, and not seeing manifestation. Okay, so I'm gonna be, and that's where I'm gonna be coming from. So if you're not there, don't mean you can't get there. Okay, I don't pitch softballs. I pitch hardballs. So get your catcher's mitt, whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna be coming from 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verse 13. My subject is, give me a chance or opportunity, I will escape. If you give me a chance, if you give me an opportunity, I will escape. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verse 13. And it says, there hath no temptation or test taking you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful. The divine is faithful. Somebody said 1,000. See, you have to understand, if you ever had somebody faithful to you, and I know that a lot of Christians believe that God is faithful, and they don't understand the concept or the virtue of faithfulness. That is, in spite of who I am, how I do, the commitment, the vow that God has given, the divine masculine, divine feminine has given, he is going to see, or she's going to see her word through. A lot of y'all, faithfulness depends on how faithful somebody is to you. You will be a good woman until he's unfaithful. Come on here. You'll be a good man until he is unfaithful. You will go to work and so they start giving you problems. You will be a faithful employee, a faithful spiritualist until the people. Moses carried those people from Egypt, and he let that unfaithful people cause him to disobey God. I'm going to say this again. Your lack of faithfulness does not constitute my level of trust and belief in the divine. What I do, how I do function has all to do with the faithfulness of our relationship. Are you faithful to your ancestors? No, you're not. And you expect your ancestors to be faithful to you. You expect the Orishas, the Loa, the Nkisi, and Pungo, huh? You expect the African gods, the Egyptian gods, the Arabian. You want Ganesh. You want all this faithfulness unto you, but you are not faithful unto them. Let's go on. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above ye are able. So this means all you that are here bitching in the ATRs, that none of us are going through anything that is above our measure. Come on here, somebody. For you to go around talking, testifying, and declaring as though that you are going through a test above your education, above your ability, above your capacity, which you're really saying that God, the ancestor, the Ogun, and whatever other spirit you calling upon is unfair. Basically, you're out of your weight class. This is not the trial for you. I'm gonna wait for it. You got so much to say about what you're going through, but you have not realized you have the capacity to endure hardness as a good soldier. You not wanting to is very different than you're not capable of doing. You can't go around here talking about you're a god or a goddess. You can't go and call yourself an empress or a king or a queen, and you don't want to be tested based on your title. You cannot expect the divine to test you like a non-melanated person. When we say black excellence, we have to have excellent tests to prove our excellence. Uh-oh. If you give me a chance, if you give me an opportunity, I will escape. It goes on to say, it said that ye may be able, but with the temptation, also with the temptation, also, it says, make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. How many African American people, how many melanated people over the globe won't to walk in the abundance of what the divine has to offer, but they don't want to suffer a little while. They don't want to go through nothing. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be made uncomfortable. They don't want to have to go through something that in their perception is embarrassing to them. You want God to prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies, but you don't want your enemies at your table. Make your fucking mind up. Come on here, somebody. I want to talk to somebody on today. You wanna go around and explain Isaiah 54:17 and that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, but you don't want nobody to form a weapon against you. You don't want to really see what the mighty weapons of God and the pulling down of strongholds are. You just want to go around and tell people how good God is to you without God showing his goodness or her goodness in your life. I don't understand. I don't understand. You want to be in a gifted program, but you don't want to be tested like a gifted student. You want the criteria of level 3 and level 2 and SLD. You want your diploma to say all your classes are gifted. You want the same criteria of other people. You got 5 talents, you want the criteria of the one that got 3 or 1. You got 3 talents, you want the criteria of the one that has 1. What is wrong with you? He said, according to thy ability, according to thy measure. You're acting like God, divine, spirit, ancestors are asking you things outside of your capacity or your capability. Just because, sir, ma'am, you choose to live beneath your privilege doesn't mean you're going to be tested beneath your privilege. I'm gonna wait right there. Just because you choose as a grown-ass man, as a grown-ass woman, to live beneath the benefits that God divine has given you, you will still be tested based off those benefits. You want to lead Christianity and walk and tiptoe through the tulips in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Conjure, mysticism, Kabbalah. Don't you know Black excellence created those African traditional religions? And so the only way you're going to be able to operate in those traditions is you have to walk in the excellency of the divine. Because they were created by excellence. Not okay, not good, not awesome, excellency. Your juice, your Jesus juice, are going to come through you being tested or tried as though some strange thing has accompanied your life. Why are you sitting in the gifted class expecting to be tested like the basic people when you understand that you have melanin? Your melanin has to be developed and has to be evolved, and therefore you have to go through certain same changes that other people don't have to go through. They don't have the capacity. See, you still sitting right here and waiting on somebody to go into Canaan land and bring you back the milk and honeys. But you have the capacity not only to go into Canaan land yourself, but you have a capacity to fight the giants. Your personal belief about yourself is affecting you. Because you don't believe you're a good test taker. And the truth is, you are insecure about being challenged based off what you should know. This is why at the end of my church service, I always ask them what they learned. I want to know how far off you are or how on target you are. I teach all of these lessons, and you're still trying to walk in the confinements of your finances. See, if I get an opportunity, if I get a chance, I will escape. Just like I go through financial situations like everybody else. Y'all act like I don't have financial situation. The difference between me and you, I make a conscious choice that if I get a chance, I get an opportunity out of this situation, I'm going to escape. So let's find out by definition, because you know black people like to make up their own definition. The word escape means to break free from confinement or control. I was encouraging Ryan to not allow himself to be confined by his situation. You can, if Donald Trump can run for president with 34 felonies and he wasn't confined, he wasn't held back, he wasn't blocked, even though there's something in the Constitution saying that if you did anything treasonous against the against the country, you cannot run for public office. That didn't even hinder. That means in America, you ain't got enough goddamn felonies to keep you from being successful. My family got felonies, and they don't live that life. What I've been through and what I've been charged to does not say what I can possess, what I can have, and what I have the opportunities. I have escaped every sickness that has come my way. And in that escape, I learned how to break out. Come on here, somebody. When you are in confinement and you're going through a trial or tribulation and you find out the time that the guards are coming to check on you, or you find out when you got the opportunity to actually get away, you got to learn how, as a skillful man or woman, how to break out of the shit that you're in. Oh, y'all ain't trying to hit me. You got to learn how to break out of that confinement, out of that control. You have to understand that the reason why I'm in this confinement, like Joseph was in prison, like Peter was in prison, like Paul was in prison. And it was so good with Peter that God he just dropped the chain at the gate. You can be free, still bound. We see that also with Lazarus. Lazarus was still bound, but he was getting free from death. You got to know how to break out. Sometimes you can't get it. Let me tell y'all something. I don't want to get in my business. But sometimes you got to leave the house butt naked. You got to break out. Sometimes you ain't got time to put your drawers on to get yourself to look like you ain't did nothing. Sometimes you got to get out there butt naked. Sometimes you got to escape butt naked. I'm going to drink my acai today. You were doing it butt naked, you got to escape butt naked. When it comes down to conjuring, when it comes down to breaking somebody out of confinement. We got to find the way, because every way of escape is different. People watch me. I broke free of anemia. I've been anemic all my life until now. The reason why people in my family knows it's possible, because I am no longer anemic. I began to share that breakout formula with my sister, with my tribe, and all of a sudden, people that had a hemoglobin of 6 and 7 normally. My sister hemoglobin went up to 12.5. Sister Tree's hemoglobin went up to 13.5. You understand? You got the reason why you go through trials and tribulation, so you can learn how to break out and then turn around and teach others how to get free. How can you teach me freedom and how to be free when you ain't broke out? Some of y'all getting counseled from people in the same cell that you in. Come on here, somebody. They're in the same situation that you in. They're in the same, up under the same opposition that you're in, and they are not free. You talk to me outside from behind the bars. My baby Scorpio said mine is 12.5 now. I've never had that number. Come on here, somebody. My baby Scorpio say hers is 12.5. She only 0.5 away from 13. And she ain't been on it as long as I have. See, breaking free. We in the, let me tell you something about Saturn energy. Saturn energy is a hard taskmaster, but the reward when you pass your test, he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. The reward is that now I have the pathway for melanated people to strengthen their bodies so they can vibrate at a frequency and a vibration of extraterrestrial levels, and then we walk and activate our own ATR with the spirit and the energy of excellence. But we got to break free. And then when we break free, we got to help our brothers and sisters. Your giving to this ministry and what you're giving to the services and the products are helping me break free. And then I turn around and break you free. Because the same anointing that destroys my yokes and removes my burdens are going to be the same anointing that sets you free. You see how that works? There's structure. There's practical plans. See, you can't break free out of confinement, out of somebody's control without a plan. Because anybody that got you confinement, they're watching you. They're benefiting from you. It is a reason why he or she or they have you in confinement. They're trying to set up laws to put us back in confinement. Because we have moved past all their markers that they thought we would never achieve in this country. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not a bit more looking for equality as a man on the moon. You cannot be equal to my DNA. I don't have a receptive gene in my body. I have dominant genes. I have melanin on my daddy's side and my mama's side. All I got room and space for is excellency. And I realize when you have high standards, that people don't want to meet those standards, but they want the same benefits. I want some of you to realize the benefits that you're getting right now through government assistance, federal assistance. Somebody paid the price that those benefits are there. And when somebody can convince you that the benefits that you are having is for free. Come on here, somebody. How many know I said, and I keep saying, ain't nothing for free. You don't want the benefits that my ancestors paid the price for me to have. And you want your descendants to reap the benefits off of what you have done. But you don't want me to reap the benefits off of what my ancestors have done. This is why King Charles is still walking around with the stolen jewels and the stolen gold. That's why France still has the stolen gold they took out of Haiti. Nobody that steals from you is going to be willing to give you your stuff back. So I believe the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent got to take it by force. I'm not getting on my hands and knees and sucking your dick to get what belongs to me. I'm gonna fuck you up. Plain and simple. You call me Satan, you can call me Lucifer, you can call me the goddamn devil. I don't really care. I am going to be free. I walk in sovereignty. So my sovereign spirit needs to give me the weapons that are necessary so I can pull down these goddamn strongholds and free me from their control and their confinement. I'm not out here talking about I'm free. And I'm not free. I've been taking spiritual baths for my transformation the last 3 days. See, you got to have a plan. You have to have plans, sir and ma'am, an effective plan. You got to have timing. See, Saturn rules all over all this shit. You got to know how to climb, because sometimes you have to escape between a narrow passage. Not all the time the way of escape is going to be grand. Sometimes you got a small, narrow margin to escape some shit. Sometimes that last $20 gave you escape from not paying your bill. Sometimes it's the little things that give you the escape. Stop expecting God to move in your life, the divine, your ancestors, to always offer you a way of escape where you don't have to crawl before you walk. Sometimes your way of escape is crawling your way through. Come on here, somebody. Sometimes you got to be like they do in the military. You got to be on your belly and slither like a snake. Sometimes you got to go through the same exit that the snake goes through. Sometimes you got to go through the same exit that a rat goes through. But escape is escape. People have escaped from prison through the sewage. While you worried about how you smell, how bad you want to be free. While you worried about what you can catch, what about what you've been caught? Sometimes you got to risk some shit to escape from some shit. I feel the Lord. Sometimes you got to risk some shit to escape some shit. Sir and ma'am, you can play with your life however you so choose. You can sit there and not get your tools. You can sit there and make money. Let me tell y'all something. I have tried to teach this over and over. So many ways. Black people think that white people or your job or your finances is the reason why you don't have the things you need. You the one choose to believe that the only thing that you can have is what's in your account. That's your business. I don't believe that. You think the only thing that you can do is what your paycheck says. That's your business. That's not me. That's not what I teach. That's not what I preach. You the one thing that you got to wait on the first of the month to actually get the things that you need. That's your fault. You done totally disband God giving you daily bread. I'm going to say that again. Every day that we have, that we walk in, there's a new energy for every day. The same energy that was in last Monday is not in this Monday. It's a brand new mercy. It's a brand new grace. There's some shit that you couldn't get done last Monday that you can get done this Monday. Because what you did not know last Monday, you know now, this Monday. What you didn't know last week, you know this week. What you didn't know last month, you know this month. What you didn't know last year, you know this year. That's why we call Saturn Father Time. Father Time. Now, I'm a Sagittarius. I want to talk about this. Some of y'all positive for no reason. Some of y'all optimistic for no goddamn reason. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. How can you be positive with no facts? How can you be positive about your outcome when you don't have anything implemented? No plans that leads you up to a positive outcome. You positive for no reason. You're hopeful for no reason. No goddamn reason. You couldn't give me a set of facts, a set of evidence that constitutes your positivity. You're just positive. It's not gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. You ain't got no forecast. You ain't got nothing other than your bed. You just gonna be positive for no fucking reason. And then the other ones, you're negative for no goddamn reason. Just negative. Lord, you just waiting for the shoe to fall. Just negative. You ain't got enough set of facts in front of you that constitute a reason why you negative. We're in the age of Aquarius. Facts matter. You need to have a reason why you in one state or the other. You can't just be in that state free willy-nilly. You need to have a set of facts. The reason why you're positive. The reason why you're negative. See, things can happen when you understand the facts involved. You can test positive for cancer. But just like you can test positive for cancer, you can do some research and start doing things to change your eye, and then later on test negative for the same cancer. The testing does not constitute the level of graduation. The testing does not constitute whether you're going to graduate or not. Whether it's test positive or negative. Because today you can test negative and tomorrow you test positive. But neither one determines your outcome. Whether you take it as good news or bad news. Somebody, I'm preaching today. I'm teaching today. It's so many of you guys get a report and then you stop. Because your credit can be good this month and be worthless as shit next month. It still doesn't mean God won't supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. It don't mean that. I was buying shit when my credit was good, and I was buying shit when my credit was bad. I was having sex when the pussy was good, and I was having sex when the pussy was bad. I keep like Tina Turner. I'm rolling. I'm rolling. I'm rolling like a goddamn river. I'm not here to argue your report. I'm here to argue with you about what you're going to do about that report. Is it a report that you want to stay the same? Then continue to do what you do. If it's a report you want to change, then you got to adjust your actions. You got to revise your plan. Don't worry about what I believe in. But thank you for coming. Goodbye. Let me explain this, melanated people. I'm teaching you. I'm showing you. If I'm given a chance, if I'm given an opportunity, I'm going to escape. Whatever the test is, where there's a will, there is a way. I don't go around trying to convince my padrino that I believe in the Orishas. He can determine that by the way I move. Some of you think you gotta get everybody and their mama to be on your side. Why you need so much goddamn support? It's beyond me. You would not be going through that particular trial, that particular test, if it was not in your capacity to pass that test. God is not going to give you a test without giving you a criteria, without giving you information. The reason why you worry about the test, because you know you ain't been studying. You ain't been paying attention to what's been going on in your life. It's leading your ass up to your next test. I drop some pop quizzes every now and then to sharpen your intellect so you will be aware of the next test. I ain't got to know what you're doing with your time. Your test gonna let me know everything. Some of y'all done pulled to the side of the road. The storm ain't even. You got so conditioned that you got to wait out a storm because you don't listen to somebody else defeated as life. And so you believe that you have to wait out a storm. But if you got around a cloud of witness that has driven through the storm, the time that you sit there and wait on the storm, you could have been already out the storm. Okay. I'm trying to teach you how to escape some shit. When somebody throw crap at me, whether it's voodoo, I don't give a goddamn what. They only so powerful. And I'm a powerful mother effer. So it's only so much you're going to have to be able to do with me. There's so much control you're gonna have. There's only some shit you're gonna be able to confine about me. I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is in Aries and my rising sign is Pisces. And when people try to entrap me in spells and conjure, I know depending on their training and their measure, it's only so long you can hold this shit up. And I'm gonna start lighting the fuck out of their trap. Because I'm like a professional boxer. Once I take a hit from you, I know where your strength level is. Once I take a hit from you, or from your root worker that's working on me, or your spiritually, I already know what your strength level is. That's why you got to be like Timex. You got to be able to take a licking and keep on ticking. Bitch, you done folded up like a folding chair. You done gave up. You hollering about you ain't no Christian no more. You done took a lick. No, you don't want to practice voodoos no more. You can tell them bitches that ain't really anything for life. I don't know why you started, but you ain't in it with your whole heart and mind. Because you took one lick and now you don't want to be a Rastafari no more. You don't want to all about Chi and Prana no more. You don't want to work with Ganesh no more. You took one hit. You took one financial hit. You took one emotional hit. Now you done gave up on love. I done had relationship breakup and I'm still fucking. What my relationship not working out has to do with me enjoying my life. Circumstances, situations happen. You took one lick. Now you gave up on love. You know how many licks Tina Turner took? Hallelujah. And she been getting paid from what love got to do with it ever since. That's how you start, dude. You got to start hitting back. Yeah, he knocked the shit out you. We gonna go ahead on and give them they credit. They knocked the shit out of you. It knocked your confidence. It knocked the wind out you. It didn't knock the life out you. But it knocked the wind out you. You got to get yourself together. I understand. I done took some licks coming out my UPS truck. I said, ooh, that was a good one. Huh? And kept on delivering my package. How you a warrior and you can't take a licking? You positive and you negative for no reason. Where are the facts involved that make you feel positive about your situation? Negative energy is not bad energy. Negative energy is Capricorn, Saturn, Earth, absorption. Without negative energy, we could not absorb things. There's spiritual works that we can actually drain the energy of our enemies. Very vampiric in nature. Palo Diablo. We use that in Palo to drain the energy, the Ache, the life force. We draw them up just like a humidifier. And no matter how much chi and energy we trying to create, that whatever we set up, that doll to pull their energy from them, get stronger and stronger, and they get weaker and weaker until they collapse. The same way you can do the energy of cancer, STDs. It's all energy. And you can weaken your illness where it is not strong to operate in your body. Give yourself a fighting chance. Understand real science. That everything negative don't mean that it doesn't have a positive outcome. And everything positive don't mean it has a negative outcome. You don't know enough about alchemy, and therefore you allow other bitches to commune with you, talk to you, and got you looking and perceiving at your situation that is hopeless. A pale-faced doctor ain't gonna tell me what my end gonna be. When that doctor told my grandmother that my mother was not gonna live, go home and prepare a funeral, and if she did live, when I say he was prophesying like a motherfucker, if she lived, she'll be a vegetable. He kept on prophesying. She'll never walk, and she will never have kids. That's what he told. You'll be surprised though of the fuck shit that people in the medical industry will tell you and have you scared out your goddamn mind. My great grandma and the women, that's why I get mad like a motherfucker. The women in the community, my grandma brought my mother home and she was laying in the bed, and those women got around her and got around her. See, sometimes you got to see shit happen before you can believe God can do this shit. And they got around her and they started talking to fire. I don't know where they learned it from, but they started talking the fire out of my mother's body. Come on here, somebody. You can neutralize some shit when you know what you're doing. Come on here, somebody. So when somebody tell me I came out of that womb, I was an indication or the evidence that she can have kids. I was her first child. I'm her son. So you ain't gonna tell me that the channel that I came through, that what I get here on earth, you gonna tell me what I can't have, what I can't do, and what can stop me? I'll be goddamn. It ain't gonna never change for me because my testimony is the same. You don't take no pride in knowing how to have a prayer life. You don't take pride in being a mother or a father, knowing some shit to do for your loved ones. Huh? It took her some while. It took her a while before she got up where she can walk. It took her a while. She had to be in a wheelchair. She was confined in a wheelchair, but not confined to life. One day, she got out that wheelchair. For a while, she had to be wheeled around. And therefore, when she got wheeled around, all of a sudden, she learned how to wheel her goddamn self. She would tell me story how she be in the hospital and she said, I be working it. See, you can go from stage to stage in your deliverance, your healing, and be set free in stages, but never give up. How somebody gonna tell me what ain't possible? When my family got busted, the federal government, they hit us in 3 areas. 3 areas. They hit us at the same time. They was in Georgia, they was in our area, and it was further south in Florida. The feds came in at the same time. When my people had called to tell what happened, the federal government answered the phone and told her, we got them too. We got them too. They had a plan for our monkey ass. When somebody coming in like a flood, they got a plan for you. And did everybody escape at the same time? No, baby. We had to put some energy, some work in. Some of y'all want to be set free and you don't want to put the goddamn work in. Your enemy put the work in to confine you, to bring you under their control. You got to put the work in to get free. And that lady, that Marshall, I'll never forget her. Miss Barnes. She told my mother, the camera was out there. She said, look at this for the last time. They had big old, huge dog chains, like gorilla chain around the door. She said, you'll never walk through these doors again. My mama said, we'll see. See, it depends on who raising you, who's schooling you, who's showing you what's possible. All things are possible to that believe, but you ain't got that belief in your heart. So therefore, how do you know it's even possible? How do you know that you can get set free? When I tell you we worked our ass off, but them chains came off that door. I was 18, but them chains came off that door. We didn't have full freedom because my mother had to pay to stay in that house. And we were willing to, some of y'all ain't willing to do shit. You want all this victory. You want all this liberty. But you ain't willing to fight for your freedom. How bad do you want to escape? The point was, she said she would never walk through those doors again. Once I break you, bitch, I'm going to break it all. Once I get a crack, I'm coming through. Once I throw my magic and I get a sliver, all I need is a chance. I kept working and working on that anemia. So I got that bitch I got it in the full Nelson. I got in the headlock. Huh? You had me where I couldn't even feed myself. If a bitch got that much control of you, I don't care if it's sickness, I don't care if it's finances, I don't care if it's a relationship, I don't care if it's white supremacy. If a bitch got their foot on your neck, you got to find a way. Huh? But when you get on top of that bitch, you got to go for the gusto. I ain't never seen so many people get to a place that they get comfortable. When somebody gets you or something gets you in a place where you are weak and vulnerable and you fight that hard to get from under that, you fuck them up. I went on an annihilation of parasites. I ain't gonna never, ever forget having my niece having to feed me at the hospital because I got so weak. And I wasn't, they didn't give me my strength fully back. I had to go through a process. I had to crawl, fight. I had to drive from Orlando, intoxicated with prednisone, going through, couldn't get no. Sister Monique, she met me back in Port St. Lucie by my house. Mother Susan was on the phone with me, step by step. I had almost hit people. I was driving in other people. I was not even coherent. But I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. See, you might not have all the facts involved. You may not have all the understanding involved. But that don't mean God won't guide you. God guided me all the way from Orlando downtown. I want to be specific, goddammit. Huh? High like a motherfucker. I don't even use drugs. But I was so doped up on that prednisone. I was out of my goddamn mind. But I ain't need my mind. I needed the Lord to guide me. And God guided me all the way from Orlando to Port St. Lucie. Matter of fact, I stopped by the church. That's how good God was to me. I got me some more strength out of the church with my Orisas. And I headed down to my house to meet Sister Monique. Y'all don't want to crawl before you walk. You think that everybody in position of power, they ain't never take a lick and take a hit? Yes, we have. But everybody ain't gonna be transparent like I am. All this shit ain't pretty. It's beautiful in the end. The glory of the Lord is always beautiful in the end. Without your story, there is no glory. So I have many reasons to say, if you give me a chance, if you give me an opportunity, I don't care what you put me in. I'm David Copperfield, bitch. I'm coming out. I don't care if it's by breaking a lock. I don't care if it's about cracking a corner. I don't care if it, like whatever, huh? I don't care if I got to pass gas and the pressure. Really, I don't really care. All I care about is getting free from whatever is trying to confine me or control me. You're quite so welcome. I had to receive Oba. And I had to bring, I received Oba and I received Oku. See, getting free is mean getting the necessary tools and the help you need. And so I was down in Miami receiving from my madrina her Oba, because everything is about energy transfer. I wasn't even 100. Some of y'all think you got to be 100 to get free. I wasn't 100. I didn't need, see, you got to know that these tests that you're in, that you have, you don't even have to be fully cognizant. You don't have to be fully aware. I told my madrina at the time, I said, listen, I'm going to go through these ceremonies. She said, you gonna be? I said, I'm going to go through this ceremony. See, that's why I have so much respect for Minister Mario, son of Pachosi. A lot of y'all pussy ass people. Y'all want all these spiritual things and you don't want to go through them. He went through everything he had to go through with Ochosi. So I'm sitting there, I told her, I said, listen, just call me when it's time for me to do ceremony. I was on the floor. I had to do certain things. And I had to muster my energy to be able to make it back to the sea. And when I got through that ceremony, and I had my Ita with the Babala, and he told me, he said, Oba and Eligba is going to give your strength back. But Oba said, she's personally, come on here somebody. See, where there's a will, see, sometimes y'all don't know how to make God or the divine get off his throne. Then check you out. Come on. With the way you walk through your test, where you walk through your trial, will make God stand up and pay attention. Huh? Make the spirits turn. Oh, I like the way he or she doing this. I could have gave up all through that process, but I ain't have it in me. I didn't have give up in me. I didn't have give out in me. I didn't have it in me. All I kept saying, where there's a will, there's a way. My kids would call me on the phone, Dad, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. As long as I'm driving, I feel better. Sister Tree had to, when I got the reaches, I called Sister Tree, asked her what she was doing. I said, Tree, I need your help. Because I was weak. I was weak. I got in the church. I told her what I had to do. I had to wash her up because she ain't initiated. I need you to put this in Shango. I need you to put this in Oshun. Won't Oshun make a way? I didn't even have the strength to get the money that I have given my Oya. I told her what to do. Then I told her, I said, get me over here. She can test you, I was weak. But you ain't got to be strong. The Bible say, let the weak say I'm strong. See, in order to get your freedom, you ain't even got to be at your full strength. Some of y'all think that you got to be 100. No, I was weak, visibly weak, and physically weak. When I got over her stuff inside of that, my strength are coming back. That's why I'm gonna fuck up anybody that try to stand in my way. You don't know what all I had to fight through to get to where I am now. I ain't gonna let no fuck ass sickness. I ain't gonna let nobody mentality. Listen, I ain't here to argue what you got going on. What I'm telling you about the outcome, because that's what I have control over. How I adjust and assist myself in these situations determines how I'm coming out. What you got to say don't mean a fuck thing to me. I'm 52 years old. Look at me. I showed the records of where I was in not even a full year, just some months have been defying medical science. How he look, how his numbers are excelling like that. Bitch, I'm Apostle Samuel Jr. I'm chosen by the spirits. Whether those spirits are Egun, whether those spirits are Orisha, Loa, Nkisi, and Pungo, they're divine. And I'm a vessel of the Most High. Get that shit right. I'm encouraging you. Get your tools. And when you get the opportunity, sir and ma'am, when you get the chance, you should escape some shit. Because it ain't got to be like that. That reality that you living in is only there until you decide that it's no longer needed or wanted. And at that moment, sir and ma'am, you can change your reality. Because I'm changing mine. I'm changing channels like a motherfucker. Watch it a little bit. Oh no, it ain't one of them. If I ain't got the right frequency or vibration, I'm turning the channel. I'm changing the frequency. I'm changing the vibration. I'm changing the guy. It's alchemy, baby. And as long as I got where there's a will, there's a way. God gonna lead me, a divine spirit gonna lead me wherever I need to go, whatever I need to do. If I don't show none melanated people nothing else, I'm gonna show you how to fucking escape. I'm gonna show you how to escape somebody's control or their confinement. If you want it. I worked at UPS for 30 years and never had to live at the extent of my income. I live always how I wanted to live. I don't have no regrets. I won't. Go to my website. Do yourself a favor and take out time and look through my website. Because everything I put on my website and anything I do, I use it myself. I don't put nothing out there I don't use. And figure out where you want to be. What reality you want to have. And as long as you're really willing to work for it, sir and ma'am, you can have what you desire. But the day and the hour you give up on you is when you give up on your reality that you said you wanted. Thank you, Demetrius. I hope that it helped you. I hope that you understand how serious I am about this. My destiny star is in Capricorn. I understand that these tests that I've been going through, I'm more than capable of passing them. I don't care how hard the test is. I don't care what the results say. I can and I will find a way of escape. Not this time, each and every time. It said, in every temptation, the divine has made a way for us to escape. Even this white supremacy system, we can live outside of it. If we gain the power and the ability and the vibration and frequency, it will not hinder us. It cannot confine us. It cannot control us because we're millennials. God bless you.